Hello. But today I thought to have a look at some software called TalkType. Now, TalkType is some speech-to-text software. It's very simple and it's very, very accurate in terms of how well it picks up people's speech. So I'm just going to jump straight into it, share my screen, and we will take a look. So this is TalkType. Um, so by default, it's usually a white screen, but as with most of my software, I have everything set to dark mode as it's easier on my eyes. So some pretty simple stuff going on here. So I'm just going to start the microphone going just to see how well this dictation actually works. So as you can see, it's picking me up pretty accurately at the moment. What it's not doing is adding any punctuation. So I can either add that manually by saying full stop, new line, hello, my name is Andy, comma, I am 46 years old, full stop. Made a slight error there. So yeah, so it's not adding punctuation for me, but I can speak punctuation out myself to add it. Or there's a button up here that's create that says auto punctuation on it. So now I can start speaking again. So now if I start talking, the software does its best to add punctuation itself. So you see it's already put one of the commas in there and it's put full stops in and various other things like that. But it's still writing those words out okay without putting them in, which is always good. Doesn't always do a perfect job. Sometimes it puts too many full stops in and makes the sentences too short, but that really depends on how you speak. And it does a pretty good job of it generally. It's better than trying to do it all manually yourself. Anyway, it can get a bit annoying if you have to say the punctuation all the time. So as you can see as well, the actual speech recognition is absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's made any mistakes in there, as far as I can see. So that's really good. On the left-hand side of the screen here, you'll see it's the name of the file is just whatever's at the top. So you could put a title in it, would have the title at the top there. I can create more files if I want to, and they all just pop up down the side here. They automatically save as well. And I can minimize that side of the screen if I want to. And then we've got various different tools across the top here. So we've got font settings, we've got heading, bold, italic, underline, all the usual stuff you tend to see. And then we've got an undo button, we've got a copy button, we've got a clear all button, and then we've got some AI features, which I'll come back to in a second. So yeah, so most of these are pretty standard formatting tools. But one thing you can do in this software is you can use your voice to access all of these as well as clicking on them. So let me just quickly show you. So some of the commands you can say TalkType first and then say what the command is. Let's give that a quick go. TalkType, underline on. Now I have underline on, it should underline on my text. TalkType, underline off. So there you go. So to actually access the TalkType microphone, you have to click on it, or you can use Control Up and D on Windows. It would be slightly different on Mac. Um, Unfortunately, you can't wake it up with your voice like you can with some of the softwares like Dragon, but it's deliberately kept very, very simple for that purpose. But yeah, anyway, so as you can see, TalkType and then various different commands will do those things. I could say TalkType clear all, I could say TalkType underline, italic, bold on, etc. So also across the top of the screen here, we have an AI tool. Now, obviously you have to be careful with AI, but it doesn't tend to do lots of things for you. So just use it wisely. So if we click on proofread, so just that's okay. It will proofread the document and it gives you a preview of what the proofread document will look like. And actually it's not really changed a massive amount apart from it's put a full stop at the end of there. So I'm going to click on replace and then I can change it to that one. Other things we've got in here, we've got a restructure option, so I can change it to summary, email, or list. So if I click on email, for example, it gives me an email version of my text. Or if I click on summary, it gives me a summarized version of the text. It's got some quotations and stuff in there as well. And if I click on list, basically get a bullet pointed list of my text. So really clever, really quick and easy to do. Also in here, we've got an adjust my tone option so I can switch between professional and friendly. So let's see what this one does. So if I click on professional, it's not changed it massively, but it has put a few extra words and things in there. So it says currently as I speak, the software endeavors to insert punctuation automatically. So yeah, probably not a word I'd massively use if I was writing it myself, but there's there as an option if you wanted it. Alternatively, you've got a friendly option there, so I can give you a more friendly version of the text, which isn't hugely different, but it has got a few words like chattering away in there, and it's got a tad choppy, spot on, and things like that. So yeah, so you've got a few nice options in there. It's also got a custom prompt. Now you can put pretty much whatever you want in here. So you could say, make my text sound a bit more professional, make my text add some more information to the text, that sort of thing. Or you could put some silly things in. So turn my text into Old English. Let's see what it does. There you go. Avoid discernment. I shall venture forth merely to perceive the efficacy of this dictation service. So yeah, you can get a bit silly with it, but you get the idea. You can type in pretty much whatever you want, and it will pop things in for you. Now, if I clear my text and then try that again, I can then just get it to do whatever I want. So write me 2 paragraphs about, I don't know, squirrels. And there you go. So obviously, as I mentioned before, you have to be a little bit careful when it comes to using AI to do the work for you. So just to be aware of that, really. Fab. So those are some of the main features. Now, across the top right-hand side of the screen here, you've got a voice commands button, and this will show you any of the commands that you use that you have to say TalkType first. So, for example, you've got commands for selecting things. You can say TalkType, select from, say, so to time, and it should select that whole paragraph. You've got various formatting tools, like I mentioned before, bold on, bold off, italic on, etc. You've got things to delete, so you can clear or you can undo or scratch that. You can redo things, delete words. You've got line breaks, so you can say press enter or press return. And then you've got things like text navigation, so you can use go forward, go back, all that sort of stuff. And there's a few other things in there. I'm not going to go through them all in detail, but that's where you'd find all those. There's not too many, so it's not a massive, massive list to try and remember if you want to use your voice to do these different things. Next to that, we've got the custom words option. You see, I've already got a few in here. So, for example, my dad's name is Ian, but he spells it I-A-I-N, which is a Scottish spelling. And so if I said Ian before, it would spell it I-A-N. So I've added that to there. Now it spells it Ian like that. So let me just quickly show you. My dad's name is Ian. There you go. So pretty simple. So it's usually good for sort of names. We've got companies and all sorts of things like that that might have slightly unusual names in there. Next to that, we have a shortcuts button. So this is all commands that you can say without having to say TalkType first. So basically, it's pretty much any keyboard key. So you've got things like bullet point in there. You have got punctuation. Yes, you've got punctuation marks in there and question marks and all that sort of stuff. Pretty much, like I say, pretty much any keyboard keys. You've got ampersands, open brackets, close brackets, all that sort of thing. And then you've got some mathematics type stuff in there, multiplication sign, point, equal sign, things for currency, dollar sign, pound sign, etc. And some things for line breaks. So you can say new line. I think you might have seen that before, new paragraph, and so forth. If you go to the top of here, you've also got this custom option. Now, this is quite useful because you can set up your own custom shortcuts. So, for example, I can type in something like my dog, and I can get it to put my dog's names are Loki, Willow, and Blaze. My dog. And there you go. Forgot to turn the underline off. But yeah, so let's put all my dogs' names in there just by saying my dog. So you can do that with pretty much anything really, and then you can delete them again if you don't want them to keep them. So that's a really useful feature to have. So yeah, so those are the most sort of basic features in here. There's a few extra things as well. So obviously you can minimize that side panel. If you click on your initials, there's options for preferences as well. So you can change it to dark mode, light mode, whatever your system settings set to as well. You can turn the AI features on or off. You can filter profanity if you don't want it swearing at you. And there's a few other bits and pieces in there, auto-date formatting, number formatting, microphone settings, that sort of thing. You've also got in here account settings. You've also got a help center, which will jump to the internet and will help you, and search for anything to do with TalkType. And then you've got this thing called CareScribe Academy, which is another help course, but it's like an actual training course, this one, so it goes through all the different basics and things. I've not actually had a go at this one, so I'll have to have a play around with that, see what it's like. And then the other main thing about this software is you can actually use it anywhere. So if I click on this drop-down box under the microphone and click on Dictate Anywhere, I can now have this little microphone icon here, which I can place anywhere on the screen, and I can click on that, click on, say, a Word document, for example, and start dictating into that. So anything you can type text into, it could be the internet, it could be anywhere else, you can actually speak into, and it should work in there as well. It doesn't be being a bit slow, but oh, there you go, it's caught up with me now. So it's very clever. I'm speaking at a very fast, quite natural voice, but actually quite quick, and it's doing a very good job. Look at that. So a lot of people prefer that so that they can sort of speak directly into whatever text file they're doing. But then obviously you got some of the added features within the TalkType window. So you can get back to the TalkType window just by clicking this icon above the microphone. And there we go, it jumps back into there for you. So that's TalkType in a nutshell. There's not really much more to it. There is a phone app version, so it's worth downloading that if you want to have it on your phone as well. Obviously, if you're going into like a meeting or a lecture or something, unless you've got a really good internal mic, it's probably helpful to have an external microphone plugged into your computer. But the recognition is extremely good. I recently shadowed in a training session when I started my job with a Scottish colleague, and he was speaking to a chap from Nigeria, and I had this running in the background, and we were all online, we weren't face to face, and it was picking both of them up absolutely perfectly. So, yeah, really powerful prediction speech recognition on this software. Okay, I shall stop sharing my screen, but thank you very much. Any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you. Bye.